Jonathan Smith here with the Yakima County Development Association, doing a quick walkthrough introduction to the Paycheck Protection Program. So this program is going to be open through the end of March. You apply through your bank. So again, through your bank, not through ICDA, not through another agency. There are folks out there who can help you, but the best place to go is to your bank. If you already have a banking relationship, all the better. Reach out to your banker and tell them that you want to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program or learn more about it. They'll be able to help you. We're just going to quickly look at the application though, so that you can be as prepared as possible when you do talk to your bank. So there's two different applications, very, very similar. The first one, you can see you can check a lot of different boxes. Are you a sole proprietor, a partnership, an independent contractor, a C3, a C19, a tribal business, etc. Fill out some basic information, calculate your payroll costs. The other application is specifically for sole proprietors, independent contractors, or self-employed individuals. So all of the top part of the applications are the same. All of this contact information. All that's different is how you actually go about calculating what your monthly payroll is going to be. Paycheck Protection Program is based off of what your payroll is. So first thing though to really be aware of is that your business legal name is the legal name of the business as it would appear in public records. So what you want to do is go onto the Department of Revenue's website, dor.wa.gov, and then click this look up a business. And what you're going to do is actually look up your own business. So for this, I'm going to type in the name of the business that I'm with. I'm in Yakima County, and I'm not a robot. And I'm going to hit search. I'm going to pop up here. This is the right UBI for us. I'm going to click that. And this is the entity name. So for a sole proprietor, this will be your name. Now the business name may be something different, and you can find your registered trade names, those things down here. So it has to match because the SBA is double checking these to help prevent fraud. So when you put in your business legal name or your trade name, it has to match what the DOR has for your business, and that's how you look it up. Another part of here that you might not recognize is what is an NAICS code? Well, fortunately, once you're at this page, all you have to do is click here for your excise tax and reseller permit status, and it will tell you what your NAICS is. And you enter in that number, just the number 611710. For this example, your business will have a different one. You'll enter that number there. So your legal name, your trade name, the year you were established, your NAICS code. Most businesses will qualify by having fewer than 500 or 300 employees. Put in the address of your business, then put in your business's tax identification number. This is the number you would use when you file your taxes. If you're a sole proprietor, it's your social security number, your business phone, primary contact, and email address. Now, as we get into how we calculate payroll, those are going to be different. So I'm going to focus solely on sole proprietors and how they would calculate their income. That is going to be done with this application. And what you want to do is go to Form IRS Form 1040, Schedule C, line 7. And this is what the Schedule C looks like for 2019. And line 7 is telling you what your gross income is. And there will be a number there. So that's before you've taken out expenses. And what you do is you type that number into here, there as well. Check the year of the tax and how many employees they have. Sole proprietor, you probably just have you. So you put the number into here, say it's $100,000. You then divide it by 12. And that will give you right at $8,333.33. If it's more than that, you can't enter any more than that. And then you times that number by 2.5 for 2.5 months worth of payroll, and that's what you'll be eligible to borrow. Now, if you would prefer to or aren't a sole proprietor and you're going to be applying the other way through this application, you're checking a different box here, you still have to have documentation of your payroll. work with your bank on the specific documentation that they will require. If you're a sole proprietor and you want to use this form, then you're looking at a different box on your 1040 that you would enter in there, and that is going to be your net profit. And you would put that number into number 31 here, net profit. You would put that into this box for average monthly payroll, and then times that by 2.5 to try to get that number. So depending on what your profit and loss, your Schedule C looks like, one of those could be more beneficial to you than the other. So that is really about all there is to calculating the payroll though. Make sure that you have your Form 1040C, Schedule C, profit or loss for business. If you don't have one of these for your business, you cannot apply. So that's one of the caveats. If you're not filing this, then they're not viewing you as a business at the IRS. Even sole proprietors file these. And so the other part of this though is to enter in what you're going to use the money for: payroll, rent, mortgage, utilities, covered operations, expenditures. The best thing to do, with the advice that we've been given, is to check as many of these as you think possible that you may have expenses for. If you don't end up having any utilities that you're going to use, there's no big deal. But if you do end up wanting to use it for some utilities and you didn't check that box, there could be an issue. So check the ones that you think you reasonably may use. And again, work with your bank on this. There's some optional demographic information that you can fill out. If there's other ownerships, you enter them here. This demographic information is optional. And then there's a kind of a checklist wanting to know if you're debarred or otherwise unable to do business, those kind of things. So go through and answer these questions, all 9 of these. If you check yes for number 1, 2, 5, and 6, then you won't be eligible for this program. But do answer correctly, because they will be auditing all of these. And then I forgot to mention that you need to also initial line 5, line 6, and line 9, as well as checking the boxes. And then on the next page, you certify that you're going to follow the program's rules, and I won't read those all to you here, but you initial that you're going to, that your business meets these things and intends to use the money in those purposes, sign and print, date. And again, this is the application that you will use with your bank. So use this application with the bank that you already have an established banking relationship with. Some banks may have you fill out the form online, do it electronically rather than fill out the paper version. But all of them will require you to answer the same kind of questions. You'll be required to provide documentation. If you're not a sole proprietor, you'll provide different proof of employees and payroll that you've paid. So pay stub information, those kind of things. But this is the application. Again, the only difference between the 2 applications, one is for filers who are using their gross income, specifically sole proprietors, independent contractors, self-employed individuals. This is probably going to be the best one for those folks. They will still let you fill it out with this other one, but odds are that the average monthly amount that you'll be eligible for will be less than what it is on the other form. So these are the documents that you're going to need. You have your Schedule C. And then you're going to need the proof of your payroll if you're not a Schedule C filer. So this is a quick introduction to this. Again, work with your bank. There's several banks that are participating locally here in the Yakima Valley. If your bank is not participating, you can reach out to other banks to see if they're taking folks who aren't clients of their banks, or even see if they're taking folks who would become a client of their bank for the purposes of this loan. Thanks.